Excellent. Thanks, Amir. Have a great day. You're on mute, so I can't hear you. But have a great day. Thanks. Bye. Right, we will be going live shortly, about 2 minutes. My first people will be coming into class and then we'll be away. Unmute, start, press. Hi, Carol. Hi, Linda. Let's take off the waiting room. Lovely to have you all in class. And Kathy too. Wow. Hi, everyone. Lovely to have you all in class. Maeda, Kathy, Linda, Carol. Carol, where are you from? Hi. If you want to speak, just press your face.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Maryland. Oh, excellent. And Linda, where are you from?
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Excellent. And Maida and Henrietta. Lovely. Everybody coming into class. Hi, we'll see. Where are you from?
I'm from Michigan.
From Michigan. Excellent. Wow. And Kathy's are still. Maida, where are you from? Do you want to type it in if you don't want to speak?
Oh, Miami.
Miami, excellent. All right. And Marlene, lovely to have you in class as well. I've got an awesome class today. And today's class is very different to the previous classes. Get Set Up said to me, people are wanting more things for adults than for children. Would I consider doing some changes? I said, no problem. So my fingers, look, you can tell I've been crafting all weekend and I've been making all sorts of things. Some things are still in the process, but you're going to see them anyway. But all the things you can do with toilet rolls. It is absolutely amazing what we can put together. And I know a lot of people are worried about toilet rolls. They're not sanitary, you can't use them. Well, there are two ways that I know of that are quick and easy to use. You can use a spray that you any of the old disinfectant sprays and spray them. But if you're not happy with that, you can put them in the oven at the lowest possible temperature that your oven goes, but not lower than 160. You go low, 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 and you put it in for 20 minutes. You stand them all up on a baking tray and you put them into your oven for 20 minutes. Nothing lives after that. So they are perfectly good for you to use. I know one of the ladies in my class the other day said her sister won't accept anything she makes in case it might have a toilet roll in it. So we have come up with reasons and things that you can do so that you can use them anyway. I see Mercy finds that funny. Yeah, a lot of people did. That this is just, people have different perceptions. You walk into the supermarket, you're going to pick up germs. You walk out of your door, you're going to pick up germs in your own house. But, if you are worried, don't, people have serious concerns, so don't poo-poo them. Just let them either bake them in the oven or spray them down, and then they are perfectly ready for use. Because I collect my neighbor's toilet rolls, at my son's house's toilet rolls. I collect them from I found I ran out of toilet rolls yesterday. I've run out of toilet rolls now. And with only my husband and I, we don't go through too many toilet rolls. So now it's the neighbors and my children that we are collecting from, because there is an endless amount of things you can do. And I'm hoping today something is going to gel with you and you're going to go, oh, wow, yes, I can do that. And really, it costs you nothing. I have a box of scrap materials. Whenever I go to the haberdashery, they often have a barrel or a bin full of scrap material and scrap pieces of ribbon and scrap pieces of all sorts of things. I collect those. I go into the scrap jar first because you don't need large pieces to go around a toilet roll. So they can be small scraps and you can use those very comfortably. So I have a Tupperware, not Tupperware, container that just locks, and I just keep all my materials in there. And then I've got them when I want them. I just go and find what design or what color or whatever I'm using. So without any further ado, let's begin. I'm going to share my screen with you. And I call this me time. I've got the children's one and I've got me time. I will just show you one or two of the children ideas because sometimes we can use those as well. And in fact, the very first one we do is something that children and adults can use. Right, we learn from each other. Please feel free to chirp in at any time. You can pop in, say what you want to say, just come in, go out. If you want to just say something quickly, press your space bar, talk, and then release your space bar and you are mute again. If you want a recording, you can request it afterwards. I will send you the link on my email. People that have joined by live streaming, if you really want to participate, you just need to sign up and you'll be away. We're not paid to promote anything in particular. So if I do mention a product or something, it's not that it's just what I use. So let's begin. I live in Australia, so my time zone is very different to yours. I live in Perth in Australia. I was living in South Africa for 63 years, and then 3 years ago, I moved across to Perth to help look after my grandchildren. And I've been an educator for 44 years. From little children up to adults, I've taught everybody under the sun. And my favorite thing is creating things, making things, doing things. That was my ultimate best that I was able to do. I enjoy creating and making things. I love doing puzzles, any kind of puzzles, logic puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, you name it. I like a puzzle. If it's going to make me think, then I'm happy. My husband is the opposite. He's not a puzzler, and I don't think he's ever played a game on his computer or his phone ever in his life. So he's got all the way to 71 and never played a game. His daughters, who are very good gamers, they laugh at their dad. I have a great love of animals. That's why I do my animal series on Australian animals and African animals. And the most important thing, I really enjoy being a Get Set Up guide and being able to interact with my peers. For me, that is really special. So today, we're going to use very simple things: scissors, glue, paper, card, crayons or markers, some paint, toilet rolls. If you are painting your toilet rolls, it is so much easier to paint them with a sponge than to paint them with a paintbrush. If you cut one of your sponges up, even one that's got like a Brillo pad on the back, you cut those into pieces of about so wide, just so it's easy to hold. And then you can then sponge it, and you can also sponge inside. You push the sponge inside and you just, with your fingers, go around like this, and it paints the inside of your toilet roll very, very easily. So it's quick and easy using a sponge. Also, a sponge is easy to clean afterwards. And if it's got the rough side, it cleans all your hands as well, although mine are not quite so clean yet.
What
I
kind of
was
paint do you use? I'm sorry, what
sorry.
kind of paint do you use or you recommend?
I use any acrylic paint.
Acrylic. Mhm,
Acrylic,
thanks.
yeah. I find the acrylic is brighter and it gives you a better look and feel. I find watercolors just disappear into the paper. So the acrylic is what I use. I use all different types of acrylic. Some of them work better than others. And then the next time I don't buy that one, I buy the other one. But it's just by trial and error that I find which ones I particularly like. I always use a lot of white with it because white, you can make your colors. You can just buy one blue or two blues, and with adding white and your two blues, mixing them together, you can make an amazing array of colors. So think about your colors when you are buying them. You probably only need five or six colors, including white. And I also have black, but I don't use my black very often. But my white, I can change the shade of color of the things that I'm making very, very easily. Right, now let's start with some fun. Now, as you can see, our agenda is fairy homes, desk organizers, ideas, flower shapes, table decor, phone time, and then actually making flowers out of toilet rolls. And a last thing I do is I do a little gift box with you, which you can use. I find it the most useful gift box. I can use it for all sorts of things. So looking at this is our fairy homes. I made these originally with my granddaughters, but the one in the picture is actually my one. My little one, and it is now in my lounge inside my big flower bowl with a little gnome. And I've got a light. You can get these at any hardware where you just press them to turn them on and off, which you can put underneath your little house. And there is your beautiful little gnome home or fairy home, and you can have it in your own gardens, particularly your indoor gardens with your succulents or whatever. It just adds to the ambience in your home when you've made that little something to go with it. So just cutting out the holes, I then just put paper in as the crossbars because it was too difficult to cut out the little squares, or my timing wasn't as good as it was. You can paint your toilet rolls. You do get white toilet rolls these days, so they are very useful. If I'm wanting them, I go and check at the supermarket and I buy the brand that's got the white toilet roll inside. Then I don't have to paint it. I can just draw on it. It saves me time and I can do what I want with it. They're also a lot thicker, so they are nice and firm for you to be able to work with. I wouldn't use them when making some of the things because there you need flexibility. But here for this, you've got your little home, and that's mine in my garden in the lounge. So it doesn't have to be for a child. It can be for adults too. Any questions, any thoughts?
How did you do the roof?
A piece of red paper. I just took a piece of red paper and
Oh.
rolled it into a cone.
Oh,
And
okay.
then I just took, you get these little fuzzy furry balls at any of the little dollar shops and that. You get little bags of them. You get big ones, small ones. The top one is a big one with little spikes on it. The other ones are little small ones. And I just attached those to it so that you've got them. So that's my roof, that's my little house, and I just painted just drew some little pictures on it to complete it. I'm crazy about gnomes. I have a gnome garden outside. I think I've got about 25 gnomes in my garden now. They are peering out from under the flowers. And I don't have a big garden, but there are gnomes reading books in planters. There are all sorts of things. So I have a lot of gnomes around, from tiny to very big. Right. Oh, not very big, that sort of size. That size is big enough for the size of my garden. I have included one kids page because sometimes you do have children coming over and you need to do something with them. So I included one kiddie page just to give some ideas and things to do. All you do is paint your toilet roll, put paper on the back. I've got at the dollar shop, I got a whole bag of these beautiful shapes that shine there, and then you can stick those on. Google eyes are a must when children are around because Google eyes bring everything to life. And so then you've got your butterflies, you've got your spiders. Now, interestingly enough, a lot of us think a toilet roll is round. Not necessarily at all. A toilet roll, where's my shapes gone? I put them out. Where did I put them? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll find them now. Maybe I put them underneath here. Yeah, there they are. I keep milk bottles, 2-liter milk bottles. I cut a hole in the top and I keep all my pegs in some. Oopsie, I don't know if you can see my pegs. I've been using them. They're going down quite fast. I keep my toilet rolls. I keep anything that I want to keep. Then when I need it, I can just pull it out and I've got it. Now, in order to do something round, you've got a toilet roll. If you want something square, there's no reason why you can't have something square. All you do is flatten your toilet roll once, open it up, hold it at the top and the bottom, and flatten it a second time. Now, when you open it up, you have got a perfect square. So you don't have to always have a round thing to do with toilet paper, toilet rolls. If you want a hexagon, what you do is flatten it and then measure 3 equal pieces, just 3 little lines. 2 little lines, so you've got 1, 2, 3 pieces, and now wherever you've made the line, you flatten it, and the next one you flatten it, and the last one you flatten it. Now, when you open it up, you've got a perfect hexagon. Oops, turn it so you can see it. You've got a perfect hexagon. So you don't have to always do round with a toilet roll. You can do lots of other shapes as well. So I've made my spider. He's a hexagon spider, and he is full of the joys of spring. Being a hexagon spider makes him different with his legs and so on. You've got your octopus, just cutting 8 little legs out the bottom of it, just slicing down your toilet roll, painting it and putting a face on it. You've now got a lovely little octopus. You've got your, I always miss out on one thing, and I now realize the one I've missed out on this time. There he is. You've got your rocket. I've used the top of a deodorant bottle, and then I've got my rocket with pegs as the legs, and they can paint their rocket and send their rocket up into Mars, or they can use a longer one, and with the longer one they are then able to make little holes in it, put their Lego creatures into it, and have a lot of fun. You can also make your fish and put scales on them. They can also be a decoration on the table for you to be able to, if you're doing a theme, you could put a candle in the center and have some fish swimming around the candle. Would make a really interesting display on your candle. In fact, if I were to attach this fish to this candle, suddenly my candle comes alive. And if I put another fish further around, maybe one up, one down, so that whoever's sitting around the candle, you can see the fish all the way around the candle. So that's another thing you can do. It doesn't have to be child orientated. It can certainly be used by yourself to be able to create interesting themes for dinner parties or for a corner of your house. If you've collected shells, something like that, you can play with your shapes and make them and get them to work. Any questions on this?
Is the fish, is that made out of toilet roll? And can you
Yes.
show us how you did that?
Yes, I can with pleasure. Get out my pieces. Right, I have a toilet roll. Okay, what I do is I flatten one end of the toilet roll like that, and I don't flatten the whole thing, just the one end to start. And this is to make your face of your fish. What you do is you now push in just that top piece, you push it in, and then you push in the bottom. Not being able to see what I'm doing, doesn't it? That then makes the closed end, so it is now closed. But your fish doesn't want to look like that, so you turn it on its head like that, and now you squeeze it this way. Now I have the fish's, with my fish, the fish's open mouth. There's my open mouth of my fish. So 2 squeezes of your toilet roll gets you there, and then you've got your fish, and now you can flatten the rest of it. You can add a tail to it. You can curve it. What I did was I flattened and I cut, and I just stuck a little bit of glue on it to stick the tail on. And I put 2 little fins on it. And in fact, the pieces that I cut out of here of the toilet roll, I used as the fins on the toilet roll.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So it's very, very simple. And I just stuck the tail together. That's what holds the back of it together. It gives it 3 dimension and it makes it come alive. So, and you can of course do the other side as well if you wish. And all I put onto the toilet roll was some glitter paint, so that it just got that sort of shimmer to it. You buy the acrylic shimmer paint as well. So it's very, very, and then your Google Eye brings it to life.
Wonderful.
Right.
Thank you.
Any other questions before we move on? Right, now let's have a look at some desk organizers. So easy, so simple. You could use sticky paper to put on it. You can put sticky paper on it. And then what I do is I take a milk bottle lid. A milk bottle lid fits perfectly inside the toilet roll. It fits exactly into there, and you can just glue it in. And now I've got a perfectly done toilet roll holder that can be any design, any pattern. You can cut holes in the sides of it and then put them, as you can see, on top of each other, and then you can put all different things in. You can have your pens at the side. You can use longer ones if you want for rulers and things like that. You would then use your roller towel holders, and you can paint them. You can put paper around them. You can get that very pretty little sticky paper that can go around them as well. All of those things work so well to put everything that you require into. It doesn't take up a lot of space. You can put it on a little wooden board that you've got. The sky's the limit. You can add an extra, put 2 rulers going up, and that can then make an area for you to put books into. You can play around with all sorts of shapes. And while we are doing that, I've done a set. I've made a set here where I've used not only a toilet roll, I've used tin cans. Now, I'm going to hold it up higher for you to be able to see. That is my set that I've made. I've used a lid for my low one. I've used a toilet roll For my taller one, again, just a lid in the base. And then I've used different size tin cans. So I've got a tall tin can, I've got a bully beef tin can, or spam can. I've got, this one had fruit in it, and a tuna tin, my little tuna tin at the bottom. And all I've done is put some material around it, a little bit of lace, and 2 buttons at the top to make a butterfly. And that has created such a beautiful set that you could, in fact, give to somebody if you made it the same color as their bathroom, or if you want to put it in a kitchen or into anywhere that you would like to put it. This makes a really beautiful present. It hasn't cost you anything, and yet it is so attractive for them to be able to use. So there's my toilet roll. He's part of the set, and he fits in very nicely with them. He's thinner and rounder for other things that you might want to put into it. Right. You can put it in the bathroom with your makeup. You can put it anywhere. There's so many places, on your dressing table, all sorts of things like that you can use them for.
Do you have a
So-
web page or Facebook page?
I don't have a Facebook page, but I do have a Pinterest page, which has a lot of ideas on it. I keep most of my stuff on my Pinterest page.
Are we able to see it?
I will send you the link to my Pinterest page with pleasure. It's Sue M, Sue with a capital M. But I'm sure there might be quite a few, but my picture's there. So if you just look up for Sue M, you'll find me, but I will put a link for you as well with there's a number attached to it. I'll send that in my email if you're interested.
Sue?
Okay. Yes.
On the bottom left example where you've got
Yes.
polka dots and
Yes.
trim, the little pink trimmed one is
Uh-huh.
obviously a lot shorter than a regular toilet paper roll. How did you get it cut without squishing the roll?
You do squish it as you cut, but it soon pops back to shape.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Oh, yes, they pop back straight away. And if it doesn't pop back immediately, I take the lids of the milk bottle lids, pop them in on either end. That then rounds it again, leave it for about 5-10 minutes, pop them out, and you've got, it's nicely rounded again. So
Okay.
it's very easy to do it. They're quite versatile and quite resilient. They do come back unless you've really pushed it hard. But just with one cut of the scissors, no problem at all. In fact,
Okay.
we get into one of the ones that I've cut. Where is he? Oh, he's here. But I haven't put what's supposed to be inside. I forgot to put what's supposed to be inside, but we'll get to that. Any other questions about a desk organizer? There are just so many ways you can use your rolls to make your desk organizer. Toilet rolls, roller towel rolls, all work absolutely beautifully when you're wanting something longer or wanting something shorter. You've got it. And it makes a really pretty set. That sticky paper, fortunately for me, my grandchildren cover their books in sticky paper. And at the beginning of each year, they have new sticky paper and they use only some. I immediately take it, and then I've got a selection of different sticky papers that I can use. But you don't really have to have sticky paper. Wrapping paper works beautifully with a bit of glue, just putting a little bit of glue all in certain places all the way around, and then smoothing it very carefully round. It makes it beautifully smooth. The same as the material did. The material is smooth all the way around. And so it's very easy to do. Right, let's continue. Now, here are just some other ideas for you to use. When you are sewing or when you are knitting and your ball of wool has got a bit tangled, use a toilet roll. Wind it round the toilet roll, works like a dream. Wanting to keep your wrapping paper from unfolding all the time when you finish and it's going to unwrap, just slide it into a toilet roll. Then you've got it, and it keeps it nice and neat. And then there are 2 places that I keep all my wrapping paper. One is an old suitcase that I don't want to part with, so all the wrapping paper can go in there. And another interesting way is to turn an old stool upside down and use that as a place to put all your things. You can use toilet rolls in your drawers. You can paint them different colors, and then you can keep your scarves, your undies, your socks, anything you want to keep. They will all fit into them. It'll be surprised just what can go inside a toilet roll. And so then you can keep the things nice and neat, just roll them up, fold them, and pop them inside. You can make sachets for in your drawers and put potpourri in there so that they smell nice. You can, this I made this morning, but I forgot to put the toothpicks in. This is my toothpick holder. So I've got my toothpick holder. I've just put some pretty gems on the front of it, and I could have painted it. Maybe I will paint one later. As I say, I had 2 days to get all my bits together, so it was a bit of a rush. And so here is your toothpick holder. What else have I got hidden under there that I can't see? Oh, my glass case holder. That is awesome. Using just a toilet roll, I've covered it in pretty paper. Now, if I don't want to just put my glasses on the table, I've got to put them the right way around, pop my glasses in like that, and at least most of them are covered. I will next time use a roller towel holder, which is just longer, and then I've got a holder for my glasses when next to my chair or something when I'm changing from short distance to long distance glasses. I've got a place to keep them safe. Very simple, very easy. You just squash the end of your roller towel or toilet roll and put pretty material over it. A lovely holder for your glasses. The one on the right is very interesting. You can use a roller towel or a toilet roll, and then the shortest zip you can find. And all you do is you cover your toilet roll, make it as pretty as you want, then take your zip and you just glue the top end of your zip, where you want to finish your zip, in around, and then you can zip and unzip that, and out comes your pencils and pens. I use it a lot with when I'm using plastic bottles. I use zips for that as well. Right.
Question, please. Hi. The sachet holder, what's holding the sachet from not spilling out?
I've got some gauze. I haven't brought that. Where have I put that? I had it earlier. You get those little bags, those pretty little bags that you get for putting your your jewelry in. When you buy jewelry, you get these pretty little bags with and they're made out of gauze, but you can also get the gauze at any of the haberdasheries. And you just put the gauze over the open hole. So you glue that in first. Then you put in your pretty potpourri, and the smell comes out. And you can again use the end of your container like we made for this. You can close it. You can seal it by just pushing your ends in on either side like that. And that makes the container like that. And then you can open it afterwards and put more in. And then you've just got a ribbon at the top that you can hang it from or place it in your cupboard or in your drawers.
Thank you.
That's one of the ones I've still got to make. I haven't quite got there yet. All right. Now, using your shapes. Toilet rolls are not only a round shape, as I said at the very beginning. You can make all sorts of shapes. You can make petal shapes, bud shapes, tendrils, spikes, leaves, teardrops, all sorts of shapes out of them. So all you do is cutting them and shaping them. You can make hearts. You can make tendrils. All I've done is flattened it out, curled it round, and put a peg on it for a few minutes, just so that it decides it will stay. And then when you open it up, it stays in the shape that you are wanting to make. If I want to curl it tighter, I would make it tighter. And again, just peg it so that it gets used to being bent. This cardboard bends very beautifully into shapes. So you can design and make the shapes you want to make in order to get what you want to make. So using those, we've got a variety of shapes here. Using these beautiful different shapes that you've got, you can now create. You can create pictures. I've just done a simple one. There's my simple picture. You can create a picture using I've just used it bent slightly. In fact, that's my one there put on paper. I've now just put it onto a smaller piece of paper for you to be able to see. You can put them around a door. We made the most beautiful frame for my granddaughter's mirror. It was a really tatty looking mirror. We made flowers and half flowers and placed them all the way around. And suddenly she had this beautiful mirror, and she's had it for 3 years now, and it's still going strong. You can make, where did I put that now? There's that. So, here we go. I've got so many things on my table here. I've taken a few hearts and I've put the hearts together, and now I can attach them to a candle, and I can make a candle look really beautiful. Or you could use a tea candle. You can do all sorts of things. And when your candle's lit, this then shows up really nicely against the candle. So you can do all sorts of shapes, designs, and make them into really pretty things that you can use. You can, so the sky's the limit with your shapes. Be
Excuse me,
bold,
what are you using?
try.
Are you gluing, what do you use for gluing things together?
I just use the Bostik glue. If I want
Okay.
something to really last, I'll use my glue gun. But I'm finding that the most of the Bostik glues, you get all different ones. The stronger ones work beautifully. They hold just as well as using a glue gun. And I don't use a glue gun if the children are around. So that's why I investigated
Right.
other glues in order to find. There are a number of them, and they say that this is extra strong hold, or this one is, and they're clear, and they just hold so quickly and easily. Using pegs is your best bet. When you are doing it, once you've glued it together, just peg it for not even 5 minutes, just to make sure that it holds really well. Release your peg and you've got what you've made. But you can make
Thank you.
beautiful designs. And for the one in the bottom left-hand corner, that circle is actually an old cross-stitch circle that I've used to make that. I did that in South Africa. I haven't done it here. Right, now some more. You can make a hanging down beautiful almost wind chime, but it doesn't make a noise. You could call it a catcher. It is just so pretty to hang there in a window. You can also make a basket by just building up your shape into a dome. You just keep going round and round. I put it over a bowl. So I start at the bottom, and I put the ones at the bottom, and then I build up over a bowl, and then I can just remove my bowl, and I've got my see-through bowl. Can hold fruit, can hold a variety of things. That I used the glue gun because I wanted to make sure it would really stay and would be able to be used for a long time without collapsing. Just don't wash it, then it collapses. You can make different shapes and put them on the wall. You can put them in a clock. You can put them in a mirror. The sky's the limit as to what you can do with them. You can really go to town and make some amazing things with them. Any questions? Any thoughts? Anybody going, aha, I think I'll try. I see some smiles. Right, now for your dinner table. You can do wonderful things at the dinner table. You can fold exactly as I showed you right at the beginning. He's gone. Where's my one that I made? There we go. You can fold in the top of your toilet roll, keep the bottom of the toilet roll flat, and paint pictures on it. You can even put a little bit of Play-Doh on if you are very artistic, and then make really beautiful statues using your toilet roll. You can make your holder for your serviette holder. I've just used a hairband for this one. I wanted to go out into the forest and get some pieces, some little baubles and things that are falling off the trees, but it's pouring with rain today. So there was no chance of going out. But all I've done, take that off, is take some material and put the material around. You can put hessian around, just a little piece of string around it, a button. You can make it as rustic as you want or as festive as you want. This one, I've made it so that you, I sort of went Hawaii or Bali style, the sea and the flowers. So there you can decide what your theme is. If it's 4th of July, you can find some wrapping paper that's got strips of the 4th of July or flags on it, things like that. Put that on them. You could make a really festive table that way. And then you can also make a, mine's not quite complete yet, as a centerpiece. I need to put something behind it that's dark. Hold on, let me find something dark. All my things are blue. That doesn't help. Okay, let me just put a magazine behind it. That'll help for you to see. There is, you can see the shape that we've made. We've built up that middle shape, and then you just put a light on behind it and or under it, and you've got something really pretty for the set. If I'm not holding it crooked, when you hold it flat, it stands. There we go. You've now got something really attractive in the center of your table. And then you can put candles around it. You can put flowers around it. You can put all sorts of things around it. So there are beautiful ways that you can decorate your table using only toilet rolls. There's a candle that's, or a vase that they put just flowers round in red. So there are just so many ways you can use it. Any questions? Right. Now, fun time and phone time. How many of us don't hear the phone ring when it's in the other room, or we're busy and we're not concentrating? Well, what you need is you need 1 toilet roll and 2 cups. I've just taken 2 plastic cups. I've cut my toilet roll at the top. I put my phone into my toilet roll. And now when your phone rings, the sound goes through the toilet roll and out through the cups, and it makes it so much louder. You cannot believe how loud it is. So that if you've left your phone inside, it's charging, and you're outside doing something, or you're in another room, if you've put it into this, you will hear it no matter where you are, because it becomes a loudspeaker. And you are then able to hear very, very clearly what somebody is saying. Another interesting phone holder is to just take your single toilet roll, put some of these pegs, these little there was a peg I was showing you. They're just the pinboard pegs that you put in. You use those as the legs, cut your hole big enough to take your phone, and you've got a lovely phone holder. You can put them all around the house. Go to the bedroom, there's one the color of the bedroom. You go to the study, there's one for the study, there's one in the lounge, and you can just pop your phone into those. Quick, easy, simple, and fun to have around. Any questions? Right, I see some bemused faces. Right, one of the last things that I'm going to be showing you today is making flowers. How many of you really believed you could make a flower out of a toilet roll? These are 4 different designs of making flowers. I do send you one of the designs, but they are so easy and simple to make. I haven't painted mine yet, but there is my flower that I've made. And once I've finished painting it, I just want to get it. Oh, where's the camera? There's the camera. Once I've finished painting it, I will then twist the leaves or the petals the way I want them to go. So this is just one of the many flowers that you can make. I have made the one on the top left side, and this is the one on the bottom center that I'm in the process of making. 2 toilet rolls makes this flower. So it's not, doesn't take up a lot of toilet rolls. There are many different designs that you make, and each one of them works on different shapes, but those are on my Pinterest page. There's quite a lot of those designs are there. But it's so easy and simple. And then you just take your paints and you can shade your leaves the color you want. You can shade your petals that they're darker at the top or darker in the center and lighter at the top. It's entirely up to you how you do it. And those petals you can bend. You can bend them in all sorts of different ways. So you can get them to some turn up and some turn down. So they look really natural. Any questions?
Sue, did you use some kind of florist tape and like a skewer or something?
I used a skewer as the center. No florist tape, just a little bit of glue at the top. I just used a skewer and I glued on each one as I went along.
Okay.
And what you do is you have the first of your toilet rolls, you fold it in half and you cut a circle, a small circle that'll fit into a half a toilet roll size. And the second toilet roll, I made the biggest circle you could make on a flat toilet roll. And then the 2 little ones are the ones that are in the center, and your bigger one is your outer petals. And then, as I say, you start fiddling with your petals and twisting them when you as to how you want them to go. But they are really, really beautiful. You can make, and then you just paint your leaves different colors. You can put a bit of, for the piece that's going to go down here for your bottom part of your flower, I would just put a little bit of cotton wool and then put tape over, either green tape all the way down, or I would put any kind of tape and then paint it with the acrylic paint. But the other way you could, of course, also do it is with florist tape. I've never thought of doing that. You can buy florist tape on little rolls. And that's what I did when I was a florist. You would, every flower that you put a wire into when you were doing bouquets, you would then have to wire every single flower and tape it. So that tape is very useful for that as well. Right. And
How did you cut the toilet roll to get that beautiful rounded shape for the roses?
You cut your toilet roll, you slit your toilet roll and you flatten it. I put it under some books for a day, and then it's very easy to put any shape on top and draw the circle and cut it.
Okay, thanks.
Pleasure. Any other questions? How many of you thought you could make flowers like this? I think they're stunning. They really are. They are gorgeous. And my last thought for the day is a mandala. This is made purely out of your toilet rolls. You start with your center. You choose how big you want your center, and you slowly start adding the different shapes, continuing to use the same shapes every time as you go, and you slowly build up your shapes until you've got your final mandala. You can make it a small mandala, a medium mandala, a large mandala, but it is something that will keep you occupied because you'll do it slowly. You'll do piece by piece or circle by circle in order to get it to look the way it does. But it is stunning when it's finished. Mine is still very small. It'll take me probably a month because I've got other things that I do, but I'll come back to it and slowly start adding and making it into a really beautiful mandala. Because those have got such a interesting history of the monks who used to make these mandalas. And then as soon as that was their meditation time. And when they'd finished it, they would immediately erase it, which I think is such a pity because there's so much work that goes into a mandala. But that to me is something really beautiful and a project, if you've got time, that might be worth doing. Any questions?
Sue, many years ago, I did something called quilling. Are you familiar with quilling?
Yes, I am familiar with
'Cause
quilling.
this is
Yes,
very much like it on a much bigger scale.
yes, absolutely. And quilling your paper is much softer, so easier to do. Toilet paper rolls are a little bit thicker, but yes, it certainly is on exactly the same scale as quilling. Right, this is your gift box, which I will give you your in your notes. I will give you exactly how to do it, but this box works wonders for anything. You want to give somebody something, it's small, you haven't got a packet the right size, you can't find the wrapping paper, whatever, you can just take a toilet roll, you flatten your toilet roll just as we've been doing now. What have I done with that toilet roll that I've been flattening 50,000 times? You flatten it on either end, flatten and push in. And the same on the other side, you flatten and push in. And that's it. That is your box. There is mine. Now, into that, you could put a pair of earrings. Into that, you could put a few chocolates. Into that, if you're having them at a dinner party, I put clues for the children when we're doing treasure hunts into them. You can put a note for somebody, a special poem that you've written for them. You could put it into there and give it to them as a gift. So you can wrap anything around it. Paper, color paper, you can paint it, you can put string around it, you can put raffia around it. You can put material on it and then close it. It's entirely up to you how you would decorate your box. But there are lovely ideas on what to do with boxes. So that is, for me, one of the quickest and easiest ways of wrapping something for someone. And it's different. They're not expecting something like that. Right. Any questions on that?
Sue,
Yes.
a number of companies are not putting that little cardboard roll inside the toilet paper anymore.
Oh, well, then you're going to be using a lot of roller towel because roller towel works just as well.
I
And
know.
one roller towel is probably 3 toilet rolls. Well, it depends on the length of your roller towel. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that because it is such a useful thing to use as for making so many things.
Yeah. Do you have a resource where you can get them in large quantities other than your own toilet paper?
No, I get the neighbors and by my family, I ask them to collect, and sort of once a month I go and collect. Be surprised how many people go through. So then I go around and whenever they've got a bag full, it gets dropped over my fence, and I've got a bag of toilet rolls, because with just my husband and I, there's no ways I'll have enough toilet rolls.
Yeah.
But it works very well that way. They are able to do it as well. When I was at school, it was easy. I used to have a recycle bin, and everybody would bring their toilet rolls to the recycle bin, and I always had plenty there. But
Mhm.
yes, you could also ask at different places, even restaurants, things like that, to just collect for you, because then you just bake them in your oven. Like I said at the beginning, there's going to be no contamination there, and you can use them as soon as you've got them. Pop them in the oven. Wherever they've come from, they'll be clean.
What temperature do you put?
The lowest temperature you've got, around about 160 Fahrenheit, if you're working in Fahrenheit.
Yes.
The lowest you can go. And then for about 20 minutes, you bake them on a baking tray.
Ah, thank you.
So works like a charm.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Right. Just a little bit of housekeeping, then I will share, and if we can ask for any more questions. If there's anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to see, any comments you'd like to make, please feel free to put them in the feedback. I will send you a copy for a link for that. And then thank you. If you want to get a recording, just go to help@getsetup.io, and you will have you can get a request for recording. I will be sending you an email after the class. More classes like this. All of the classes I've done for children, I'm having the children one, but I'm also doing the adult one. So I've got Boredom Busters for seniors later this week, where I've got all sorts of ideas for us. My upcycling is definitely adult orientated. My cooking with grandma has a lot of recipes that I use all the time with my husband and I. So it's not only child orientated as well. So any questions from anybody? I'm going to stop sharing now. And then if anybody's got any questions or anything they'd like, aha, Wilsie's got her toilet roll. She's on the move already. Any questions, anyone? Any comments?
It's wonderful. Very creative.
Thank you, Eileen. I'm
Yes,
delighted that it
really.
helps, comes up
It-
with some ideas.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did you do the elephant with the toilet paper?
No, not that one. That's
teasing.
That's from my African days. My lion and my elephant are my two African creatures that I have. And so they are my two specials. They remind me of my home that I lived in for so long. So I have my family of animals. I now have beautiful animals around me here in Australia. The kangaroo are nearby. They just hop past, and I've got a bandicoot that comes to visit my garden every day and have a little bit of the dog food. And it's amazing. The animals and the people live in harmony here. It's awesome.
Yep. Lovely presentation. You're very creative. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad. I hope I've made you start to think, maybe I could try this, or maybe I could try that. I really do hope you will give it some thought. I think it's your Wednesday, my Thursday, I'm doing using clothes pegs and popsicle sticks, all sorts of things that you can make with those. So that's I think is it's my Thursday. So my Thursday, your Wednesday. I've got to get my times right. You're still in the evening and I'm already halfway through the next day. So my timing is a little out at times. But really have an awesome evening, everyone. And I really hope to see you all again in another class.
Thank you.
Thank
Some of
you.
you, Melinda and Carol and Kathy, Mercy, I've had before. It's lovely to have you. And Annie, I've had you in classes before. It's lovely to have you all with me. And I hope to see you all again. Have a great day. Bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
I appreciate some of your ideas. I work in a children's after-school program. And so crafts that you can do for the children that don't have a lot of cost associated with them are a real budget stretcher. So you've had several really good ideas. I loved your rocket ships. We do a section on space. And so letting the children build their own rocket ship would be a great reinforcement for what you're teaching them.
Absolutely. Now, if you come to my classes where I do building structures and what is the other one that's moving toys, all made with creative things to do. And again, just things that you have around. And at school, I always just had people brought clean, recyclable stuff to me. And then I would sort of what I could use and what I couldn't use. And I was able to create the most amazing things with the children.
And even your little
next to-
boxes for their
Yep.
Mother's Day present. That was
Mhm.
such a sweet idea.
Lovely idea. Beautiful idea. There's also other boxes we make as well that are so simple and easy to do. So there are lots and lots of ideas that are here. But the moving toys, we're mainly using popsicle sticks, and all of the things are safe to use with children. Even the catapult has got soft things that you shoot and so on. So I'm very aware of what they can get up to. They can get up to a myriad of naughty things.
Send that one home with their parents and then let them practice with it.
Absolutely.
So no one loses an eye on my time.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So yeah, but so it really is. It's great fun, and you can really have you can do so much with creating from waste. The same goes with for the upcycling that I do, using things you've got and just giving them a new life, giving them a different way of being able to be used. It also is. People pack things away and put them up in the attic or put them in the garage. They've forgotten about them. Years later, they go, "Oh, but I still got that." While if you're using it for something else in a different form, it's still there. It's still useful. You're still remembering it. And so there are so many ideas. The one on plastics would be great for your kids as well. I do a lot of interesting things creating with plastic. So yeah. Go for it.
It's been fun. Thanks.
Absolute pleasure, Linda. Thank you all of you for being with me today. I hope you will all be back again. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.